Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday and welcome to Fools Rush In. On a night where we have two new friends to introduce you to, an FA Cup draw to look forward to, and absolutely zero games to talk about. But fear not, because in my hours of being at home alone, doom scrolling through all the social medias, I have found a question. But not only that, we have found a fool that you have not seen for a while that you will want to talk to, at least for the next kind of 45 minutes or so before he has to disappear. So much to cover tonight. I'm hoping the mic issues are sorted, the headphone issues are sorted. And I watched back, I don't normally do this, but apparently my personal internet connection wasn't very good and I was jolting all over the shop. So hopefully that's better tonight as well. New year, same old us, I am afraid. As always, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. So wherever you're watching in the world, on whatever platform, you can get involved in all of the discussion by putting your comments in the live chat, like Harvey has done nice and early, with a good evening message. Good evening to you too. Before we get our guests on, a quick hello to the fools that are already in the lobby waiting. Let's start with a man who has snuck in during the intro credits, basically because he loves his own work that much. Evening, Woody.
Good evening, you're right.
Yeah, very well, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Sound check all right tonight?
You're a bit pilotty, but it's fine.
Oh, for God's sake. Okay, well, that's great. I'm going to give up on this soon. Hold on.
It's always the headphones. It's always the headphones. No. Mike says, don't sort the issues. It's half the entertainment.
Right, is that better?
Much better. That's much better.
Go. It's the microphone on these cheap-ass Amazon headphones. That's what it is. I need to stop being so stingy and buy some proper ones, I think.
Did you have a nice weekend, mate, is the question, before we get into all the fundamentals of the show?
Yeah, it was all right. My game against Exeter was called off as we were on our way down there.
Oh, lovely.
Which was great. Luckily, we had only got as far as lead LMS services.
Well, that's something, I suppose.
So there wasn't really any football. Went to see our under-12s instead. So, yeah, it was very much Girls Academy lead role this weekend instead of under-15s and 16s coach. So, yeah, it was all right. It was all right. And then Sunday just did nothing. I even watched bloody Derby Leeds or whatever it was for a little bit as well. So, which is something I never thought I'd hear myself say on a Sunday. So,
well, mate, I know exactly. Aidan went home early, so I had all the time to myself. I text a friend of mine to see if her game was on, but no, that was cancelled as well. Much like every game on Sunday, so I ended up binge watching that Red Eye on ITV with Martin Compton.
Ah, yes, that's on the old to watch for me as well. I did like the first series, wasn't it, a couple of years ago?
I never watched the first series, but I went straight in on season 2 and really good. Really, really good.
Good on you. Good on you.
Yeah. Don't need the backstory. Speaking of people we don't need backstories for, we have a treat for the viewers tonight. Let's get him on. And boy, is he looking good. Evening, Mark.
Evening all. How are we doing?
Very, very well. Thank you, mate. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. Well, happy Christmas, happy New Year, happy Thanksgiving, happy Halloween. Since I last seen you, so yeah, and everything in between.
That's 2024 sorted. Let's get on to 2025 now.
And everything else. Happy birthday, happy wedding anniversary.
Well, no, mate. Happy birthday to you. It was your birthday last week. Me and you were two of the 3 that celebrated last week. Did you have a great birthday weekend?
I did, yes. Especially as I was saying, the football result crowned it off yesterday, beating the Leckhampton Lions for the first time ever, in what was a superb performance. It has to be said, it's 7 unbeaten in the league now, and still in with a chance of finishing runners up now. The chance of winning the league disappeared yesterday because KGV Raiders won, but to be playing all of these sides that have JPL and academy-based players playing a year up, okay, from a technical point of view against our lads who have been together for a good number of years, but haven't played or have the experience of playing in those environments and holding their own. This season, I've had 2 of my most favourite games ever. One complete game where we pressed from the first to the last against Cleve to win a game 2-1 against, I would say, probably arguably the best footballing side in the division. I came away from that game going, this is what I do it for. For days and moments like this. Those days when you turn up in the rain and it's horrendous and half of your team aren't at it on the day. You just got to suck those days up and get on with it for performances like we've had this year. And it just rekindles my joy for coaching every time it happens. I mean, I'll say this now. Next week we'll go out and get spanked, and I'll wish when I'm wondering what I'm doing it all for. You know what it's like, Woody. But yeah, it's an absolute joy. But yeah, in terms of the birthday, that's 49 orbits of the world now completed, of the sun now completed. I'm on the slippery slope to 50.
You know what that means? Big party next year.
It's been talked about, yeah, and there's also I'm hoping to go to New York. It's on my bucket list, and it has been for many years. And originally it was Hawaii for my 50th, but with all due respect, I've looked at the prices and gone, probably gonna have to put that on the back burner for 10 more years. But New York looks achievable next year, so fingers crossed. But yes, you've had your birthday as well, mate. Have you had a good one?
Yes. I was ill most of last week, so mine was very quiet and understated. But given that we had the big party the year before for me, I was quite happy to not do much. And I'm heading towards 40 now, so maybe we'll get together in another couple of years and do another party then. But we've got weddings on the horizon, big birthdays on the horizon. There's plenty for fools to be looking forward to in the next 12
I've just realised then, without making our guests wait too long, Mark's 50 next year. I'm 40 next year. That's calling for a massive Fool's decades.
And the stag do as well. This is going to be carnage the next 18 months.
That's right.
Quality. But you're right. We have so much to catch up on, so much to talk about, but we have guests waiting. And it's only right we get them on and we talk the serious stuff first. Many of you will have seen over the last probably 2 years or so, there's been a real social media surge in an activity called Man v Fat Football. It's been taking over the entire country, ranging from, we were talking off camera, there are two sessions or two different groups in Bristol. There's even a group in the next town over to me in Hinckley. It is taking over the length and breadth of the country. And we are delighted tonight to be joined by two members of the Swindon branch of this fantastic activity. So for the first time, let's welcome to FRI, first to Ben and then to Dave. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for the great introduction. That's great to hear.
Well, how are you doing? Very, very well. Thank you. Ben, I'm going to start with you, if I may. If you could just give us, for anyone who's not familiar that's watching this or listening to it back, just a brief kind of introduction as to who Man v Fat Football are, what you do, where, etc., please.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so we're Man v Fat Football Swindon. We play small-sided games of football on a Friday night at Kingsdown School between 7 and 9 in the evening. We're a weight loss program for men. That's what we are first and foremost. We encourage small, sustainable changes to your lifestyle where your weight loss, you're doing the hard work through the week as members of Man v Fat. Your weight loss, when you lose weight, you earn goals for the team that you play for on your Friday night sessions. When you track your food throughout the week, you contribute towards goals for your team, and all these goals get added towards on top of your on-pitch score, and you've got some accountability towards helping make those sustainable lifestyle changes.
So for anyone who has seen this and has been unsure as to whether it's kind of for them or not, and Ben, I'll stick with you for the first part of this question. How does it all work? You've explained very concisely there about how it works in terms of the weight loss goals coupled with what happens on the pitch. But how does someone come to get involved? How do they have to bring a whole team of people, or will they be allocated to a team? How does someone get started on the journey?
Great question. So yeah, find us online at manvfatfootball.com/Swindon. Big registration button. You sign straight up. All new members now get a trial session, so you'll be given a colour to come and play for an evening. All the admin side of being arranged into a team, that's all dealt with by our admin teams. You don't have to get guys together. You don't have to go chasing around. You will be put into a team that will stay together for 3 of our seasons, which are 14 weeks long, and it's a structured league where you can compete against other teams that are within the Man v Fat Swindon group. And you'll have your trial session, and if you turn up, have a great time, want to stay with us, you'll then be assigned to your permanent team, which you'll be a member of for the 3 seasons, as I say, and then we do a redraft process after that and mix the teams up just to kind of keep the core group of Man v Fat Swindon, reduce a little bit of the tribalism, and just make the guys more inclusive of the wider group, and just trying to keep all the those social benefits across the whole group and not just your own individual team.
And you were telling us off camera that you've been there since day one when it started. How have you, or what have been some of either the big changes that you've seen over that time, or is there anything about the growth of the project that surprised you in that time?
It's been great to see the growth. The growth's been the biggest thing. When we started back in September 2021 in the Swindon version of this program, we were a 4-team league, which, you know, from that it doesn't take long for you to be playing the same teams over and over. It's like every month that you've seen everyone, but now we are 8 teams. So that is, you know, 7 weeks before you're getting back round the houses on playing guys that you've played against. And with that growth, there's been certain members that have joined that have been really pushing us on extra activities. So we have a Monday night session that some of our guys arrange. We have an 11s team that has played both. We have internal games where we play an 11s team of our own guys against our own guys. We've grown that much. But we'll play friendlies against other local teams, other local programs that are in similar places in their journeys to us. But we have this year, since September past, we've entered a local league for the 11s team, which is something else that one of our guys has really drove to have a competitive 11s team for Man v Fat Football Swindon, and that's another aspect that's come out of the growth that we've been through.
And Dave, as a participant yourself, it's very obvious that the main aspect of this is about the weight loss, the body confidence, that kind of thing. But what else does this kind of program offer? We were talking a lot about the mental benefits off camera.
Yeah, I mean, the whole program itself is a weight loss program, but just with that, when you lose the weight and when you're with a whole group of people in your team and the club as a whole, there's loads of people there who are all on the same journey as you, so you can speak to them, get advice and tips on how to eat better and take better care of yourself. And just like with the added bonus of actually, seeing and achieving your goals and percentages, just the mental well-being of that, just really, your mental health just comes a lot better when you're starting to lose weight and with everyone else on the same journey as you. You've got a whole group there to support you and really help yourself grow, not in size, but your person grow and actually help you lose weight, which is the whole reason why we all joined Man v Fat in the first place.
And forgive any naivety to this question, but how does the playing of football help with this? Is there other people involved that are helping with kind of what happens when you're not playing, like the food, nutrition, and understanding the science behind that? Is that all incorporated within this as well?
So we have a tracker, a food tracker, which we have to fill out weekly and daily. And then we show our coach before, Bonnie, we show her before we go and weigh in before we play. So she can, look what we're seeing. And, if we're struggling in 1 week, she can give us certain advice and guidance of where we're going wrong or how we can improve on, and what we can do better, to eat better and make the right choices. There's also quite a lot of stuff on, there's an app, the Man v Fat do an app, and there's loads of stuff on there. It's called like the Man v Fat gym, and there's sort of loads of things on there you can do, meal prep ideas, that kind of stuff as well, which is, is helpful as well.
And while we were talking off camera, one of the recurring words that came up was motivation. Obviously, the first step in anything like this, the biggest step is kind of putting yourself out there to do it, whether that's because you want to feel fitter, healthier, you feel you need the help with the body positivity. We were having, again, a conversation off camera about personal situations, kids, family, how life changes. So whatever the motivation is, but how does then being part of that group help you maintain that motivation?
I think, well, for me personally, it was, joining the team, to start with. When I first started, I joined a team with people who were all on different stages of their journey. We had some people who were, just starting out, some people who had already hit their maintenance goals, so they already hit their BMI. So all these people were on a different journey, and there was people there who would help me get to where the next step was, which was my first percentage of 5% of my body weight loss. So just being with a team of them really helped me, and seeing how someone's gone from, quite a big, quite large and quite unfit to now being able to sort of, hit maintenance and, keep the BMI down, sort of as a real motivator for me to see pictures and stuff of how they were before and how they are now. And I was like thinking, okay, if they've done it, I can do that as well. There's nothing stopping me from, me hitting that goal of where I want to be right now. So that's what helped me when I first started.
And Ben, as I said, you've been there since it started. You have been and continue to be a participant, not just one of the, for want of a better phrase, figureheads of the Swindon group of this. So in your own words, much sure, happy to. Can you tell us about your journey from start to where we are now?
Yeah, I can. I was very large. I was over 140 kilos myself when I signed up to Man v Fat back in September 2021.
I'm sorry, I have to ask, and I'm really sorry. I'm rubbish with modern metrics. What's 140 in old school stones and pounds, if you don't mind me asking?
Thank you.
Okay, so pretty much what I am now then. About what I am now.
Okay.
But 5 feet 17 foot tall, Ben. So
okay, so yes, I am not.
So, sorry, do continue.
No, absolutely. Don't worry. And I realised I needed to make a change, and that first week was a bit surreal, because I think it was one of those rare times where everyone was coming in at pretty much the same stage, whereas when joiners come in now, there is this mix, and we as Dave said, we have people that have hit their maintenance goals, and the people to strive to be. But that first week, 5 minutes in, we were all on our last breath, and it has improved since then, as we say. But I had about a year myself of small sustained progress, to the point where I'd lost 10% of my body weight, which I say that like it's a small achievement. It isn't. It is a huge achievement. To pull into my list of stats, in our entire group since we've started, 69 members have hit a 5% body weight loss since we've started, which is a number that is shown to have a significant improvement to your daily life. Like that's a big loss. So going back to my own journey there, that 12 months steady sustained progress, and I had a really bad injury, and I was out for 6 months. And the thing with the program is we now offer an option when you're not playing to have a reduced level of membership, so that you can continue getting the benefits of our online systems.
Okay.
And you can continue to come in and weigh and contribute to your team, so the accountability can stay with you while you're unable to play. But this injury was actually before that came in, and I forced myself to continue staying around the guys because I'd already seen how much it helped me and how much it got me down that first bit. And I really kind of lent into the nutrition and the sides that would actually help me continue to have positive change while unable to play. But then once I come back and I'd made those changes, the next bits flew off, and it was really quick for me to push way through those numbers, to the point where at my lowest, which I'm not at the moment, there's been a little bit of a bounce back up recently. Christmas, New Year, I'm sure I'm not alone in that. But at my lowest, I was past a 35% body weight loss. It was over 52 kilos. Don't have that converted in old money, I'm afraid, but and I'm there or thereabouts, but I'd like to push on a little bit more and striving to continue pushing. But I'm in a much better place than I've ever been with my weight and my body since I've been an adult, to be completely honest.
No, and that's it's an unbelievable story and a fantastic message that you put across there. And I suppose similar to the question I asked Dave, I imagine you're self-aware of this enough anyway, but when you hear those numbers, even if it's you saying those numbers, that must do wonders again for not just the physical but the mental side of things for you.
Absolutely. As Dave said, like the group of guys that, we've all signed up for the same thing. We all there because we want to lose weight. Having that initial shared interest just makes it so much easier for the social network to create the mental health improvements from having that group of guys that you can lean on when things aren't amazing in a moment. And of course, the physical benefits from just getting out and playing half an hour of football a week. Like there's a structure that's in place for what the games are and how they go that is maintained, because guys come in at different levels, and we want everybody to come and have a good time wherever they are in their journey. Like that first day needs to be attainable and to have the support, but there is that room for, as the fitness comes, there are other things going on, and the guys are helping out, and we all want everybody to continue on their journey.
So you said you're based at Kingsdown. Apologies if I got this wrong. Friday night, 7 till 9?
That's correct.
I'm right in saying you're the only group currently in Swindon, so that's the only session available for people who would be interested in taking part currently. I believe I'm correct in saying as well, therefore.
You are.
One of the obvious questions for this, and it's kind of a side note to what the group are trying to achieve, but I think it's fair to say, and I'm slightly being generalistic here, men being men, football being football, regardless of all the positivity, is it an uber competitive environment? Is it something because that would be like looking in for me, for example, that would be a concern. Like, I know I'm not very good at football. Okay. I'm great. I'd like to think I'm good at talking about it. I've done this long enough now. I'd like to think I was okay at talking about it, but I know I've never been very good at playing it. So if someone was to share that concern, would you say, look, it's still a very welcoming environment, or would you say, look, it is competitive, but it's taken in the right nature?
I think a mix of both those answers, to be honest. I think everyone is supportive throughout the whole group, but Some individuals do take it more competitively than others. I'm not going to shy away from that. We all want our teams to win when we're out there and playing, and if that winning is coming from how you're doing on the pitch, or if that win's coming from you putting the effort in through the week and making sure that you've got your loss for the week so that your teams benefit from your weight loss. The guys do want to win, but it's all in the right spirit.
Are you both on different teams currently?
No, we're both from the same team at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And how are your team getting on?
oh, we've just started a new season,
Okay.
but we won by quite a big margin last season. We won the combined, which is for Scales and Pitch League and for Scales League. So there's 3 different leagues that we do. We do a combined league, which is both this weight and pitch combined together. Then they do a weight and then they do a pitch league as well. I was sort of say something going on from Ben's point about
Please.
This is a weight loss program. We're all here to lose weight, and you get rewarded. I personally feel you get rewarded more as a team to lose weight than you do actually on the pitch. Football's just an added bonus to actually play football. So yes, we are competitive in the sense that we're all there to lose weight, and we all want to we all do want to win our games of football, yes. But there's all types of people there of different levels. Some really good footballers. Some who aren't as good, but all included in the team. There's people who are young, early 20s. And there's we got older people as well. We've had members that are in their 60s come along and be an integral part of the team. It's not just about the football. It's about all of it. You're tracking your weight. Your weight loss, tracking your food, they all help contribute towards the overall goals that you get. So as long as you do that, you might not be the best footballer, you might not like for competitive, like I said, on the pitch itself, it's not like a feisty game of football where, there's no slide tackles or anything like that. So it's all on the pitch, it's all in good nature. Like me and Ben have, a competition going at the moment, like, competitive natures of both of us. So me and Ben are the only people in Swindon who have hit our 35%, weight loss. So me and Ben are, both of us aren't at that right now. With Christmas, I had my birthday just before Christmas, and then Christmas, New Year. So I've gained a little bit back from that. But me and Ben are in competition who hits for the 40% first, which would be a first for the Swindon club. No one's hit 40% yet. So, as long as no one sneaks up behind us, it's going to be between me and Ben to try and get that first. So, but yeah, it's really, really it is competitive, but it's not in the sense where you'll ever feel pressured into doing, ever feel pressured into something, or don't feel like you're not that great at football. Just because at the end of the day, we are a weight loss program. Football is just an added bonus.
And I was doing some sort of very loose, quick maths there, Ben. If you've got 8 teams, you're talking somewhere in the region of maybe 50, 60 people. Is everyone playing every week, or is it split?
So all the teams play every week. The actual number at the moment is about 70 off when I last had a look. So it's a 6-a-side format, but those squads are assigned up to 10 players so that they cover people being away, people being missing, people having injuries. Most weeks people get a team out. Some weeks there's a sub, there's a second sub, on a rare occasion a third sub. On a rare occasion, you're down a player and you need to borrow a player, and there are rules in place that cover that and make things fair between the teams. But in terms of those, like everyone gets a game every week. That's the important part. And the minutes get shared around. That's kind of self-regulated, and the guys are pretty good at that. Again, because as Dave was saying, we're a weight loss program, and we're trying to get everybody some minutes of football.
Absolutely. And Mark, we've spoken on our show in the past about the benefits of any sort of group status, team. We've even spoken about FRI in terms of having that group of friends around you. As I said, most of us didn't know each other before doing FRI. So hearing the message that Ben and Dave's putting across, it's really strong, and I'm really happy that we're able to help kind of promote that kind of thing on our show.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the key messages for me really is the fact that yes, physical health is important, but this is intrinsically linked to your mental health and how the two work together. And obviously, being part of a collective that are all looking to achieve the same goal, it's a massive motivational tool. And kudos to you guys for coming out and championing the message today and talking us through your own weight loss stories. I mean, all of us are probably testament to the fact that we know at some stage in our lives we've been overweight and we've worked through many different ways. I know there's people that have done a slim fast or Weight Watchers and those types of things, and those diets tend to be quite faddy, and you have to be self-motivated. There's more of a collective appeal to what you guys are looking to achieve, and the fact that you're using sport as a medium to be able to do that is a massive benefit. And I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that are looking for a motivational trigger to get out and do something. And if football is their passion, I think what you're pitching your message and saying to them, look, it doesn't matter that you might not be the most gifted left-footed winger in the world, but if you want to come out and play football and everybody there is will support you to lose weight, what a great idea, what a great concept. And I'm hoping that even if only half a dozen people pluck up the courage, and and sometimes that's all it is the fact that they know they want to do something but don't know how to get out there and do it, or feel embarrassed, more to the point, because typically as men there's that bravado that gets in the way, and talking about these things can be difficult. We've spoken many times about mental health, and how we're affected by that, and obviously weight gain and not knowing how to counter that, or to find the right network and support or channels to achieve what you want to achieve is often difficult. But this particular format I think is great. I mean, there's lots of things to like about it. Like I said, the camaraderie, the banter that you're going to have on your match days, which takes away from the fact that you're there to lose weight, if you see what I mean. That whole social side of it is really supporting the mental health elements to it, and from that you're going to get the physical benefits. So fantastic, guys, please do keep it up. And I just listening to you both and the journeys that you've been on, massively motivational to talk through such huge weight loss, and with confidence and without fear, okay, because obviously you're speaking to lots of people out there that will not know you or have seen you before, is a massively positive thing. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks for having us on, guys. Appreciate the opportunity.
No, absolutely. I do have a few more questions if you've got a little bit more time for us. I suppose something that is important to cover, and it's the other side of this, I suppose, is it all sounds fantastic. Is it also an affordable thing? A lot of discussion in this day and age is to cost of living, etc. Is this an affordable activity for people to join in with?
I was going to pause a second and let Dave jump in on that one, because in my position, I get my sessions are covered as the assistant coach for my efforts on my admin side. That is the benefit that I get. So, Dave, how do you feel about that question?
So, like I mentioned off air, that I saw it's advertised on Facebook for months before I joined, and I registered. And when I registered, there was a £10 joining fee. So I got to that stage. I was like, no, I'm not going to pay £10. I'm not going to pay £10 to register. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then sort of I left it at that. And then a few weeks later, I got a phone call from someone at the regional office saying, all joining fees is now zero. If you join now, it won't cost you anything to join. Then it'll be £35 a month. to start with. And I was like, let's just go. Yeah, okay. Let's just try it. And to be fair, it's the best £35 a month I've ever spent. I've tried the gym. I've tried, all, like I was saying about all these, diets in the past and these fad, all these fad diets, and they might have worked for a week, 2 weeks, but then, once you get off, once you get like to a stage where you're like, I just really fancy, a Big Mac and Coke or Big Mac and milkshake from McDonald's, and it's like they never really stuck with me and never really worked. And neither does the gym. I just don't find the motivation to go to the gym. I really struggle with it.
Can be quite intimidating at a gym as well.
Yeah, and especially when I was a lot bigger. At my biggest, I was 144 kilos at my biggest, so similar weight to what Ben was on when he started. And sort of when I joined, I was 137 when I actually joined. So I managed to lose a little bit of weight, without the program. But get from that to where I hit my 35%, which was 88 kilos, that has all been, down to joining the club, playing football, having more accountability to what I'm eating, watching what I'm eating, and just everything, everyone, all the support network you get, which I didn't get at the gym. I was paying £35 a month at the gym, just for a basic, and there was no football in there. There was no support. So to me, I think £35, and we're where we are now, and cost of living crisis and stuff can be a lot of money to some people.
But the way you speak about it, there's a real positivity about what's behind it.
Which £35 I've ever spent a month.
And you say about the support, it can't go understated. For anyone who does follow what's going on, you've been seen on the social pages of late as well, recognised for your successes.
Yeah. So on the Facebook page, we have a Man Fat Swindon Facebook page, and sort of every time you hit a percentage, you go on there. So like I said, it was the day before my birthday. I actually managed to hit my 35%. I can safely say, sort of after I hit that, my birthday was the next day. So I wasn't there after that weekend. But obviously I worked so hard to get that, and it wasn't just it was for me, but it was also for my team, because every time one of your team members hits a percentage, you get 3 goals off the field to go towards your combined score as well. So, every time you hit a percentage, you get 3 goals. If you lose weight 3 times, it doesn't have to be in a row, just 3 times throughout the season, you get a hat-trick, which is, it's another goal off the pitch as well. When 2 people on a team lose weight, that's another goal off the pitch. Wow. So with me and Ben on the team for last season, when we was on the team, we was all really motivated to actually hit, losing weight together, and there was a few other incentives involved in last season. So we all sort of pushed together, and all of us hit a percentage, on the team last season. We all hit multiple hat tricks, and we always a real coming to togetherness, and in our team, that we managed to achieve that. And that's something you wouldn't get at the gym. I didn't anyway, but that's a real motivator for me. And it's also nice to see it, it's all on, social media, and, recognizing people who are doing well. It's not just myself, it's everyone in the club who's doing well. They all get recognized for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I just want to jump in a second and just add a bit on the value side of things, because I wanted Dave to talk, because as I was open about, I don't pay, so I kind of want to let a member talk about it more than myself. But on top of what you get from the weekly football, the coach who has a nutritionist background and is there for is an absolute fountain of knowledge in that space. We do have a lot of online offerings that come as part of your membership. There is the Man v Fat Gym, which I think Dave mentioned earlier, that has some pre-recorded sessions, some live instructor-led sessions, if that kind of workout is for you, and they're targeted at people at different stages in their journey as well. We do have a mental health partner. We have a dedicated partner that has a lot of information around mental health. So if you're not comfortable talking to members of your team about mental health issues, or you want information or extra access to resource in a mental health space, we have a partner called Jack, which is Just Ask a Question, that is more added benefit to just the football and support and guidance. And we've just recently in Swindon launched a new player portal where it really breaks down your stats and numbers around your sessions, and a lot more information for the guys as they're going through their journey. So I'd like to think there's a great value there, but I really want Dave to talk about it first.
No, it honestly, it all sounds fantastic. And Ben, remind us for anyone who, as I say, is watching now or listening back and might like further information or might like to kind of see what it's about in person, how can they contact you? How can they get involved?
So as Dave said, there is the Facebook group. There is Swindon Man v Fat Football on Facebook, where there's a few of us from the group that will see things coming in on there. But if you're curious, like, my first advice whenever I get asked the question is, if you're hesitant, if you're thinking about joining, what have you got to say to me? And I'll say, just do it, just try it. As I said earlier, everyone gets a trial now. It's like, if you go to manvfatfootball.com/Swindon, there's a big sign up button, and you'll be invited to come down to a trial session on a Friday, and you'll be walked through the structure of the evening in terms of coming, weighing before your game, getting out and playing. Just come and try it. That's all. Just please come and try it.
And we were having a conversation off camera about how the seasons work and how there are kind of rest weeks around, say, things like Easter, Christmas, etc. And there are kind of off-season moments as well where there are more trial space stuff available. What I'd love to do, and Ben, we will absolutely stay in contact. And what I'd love to do is have yourself, Dave, maybe even a couple more members on again, and ahead of some of these sessions, and we can really try and drive it for you where possible. Of course, we'll be sharing your stuff on our socials as well as best as we can to help get that message out there. But Dave, if I can conclude with you, and we won't go into the realms of why neither of you are Swindon fans right now. We'll save that for visit number 2. But if I can conclude this bit with you, Dave, Ben gave a great message about come and try it, but as an active participant at the moment, what would your message be again to anyone who's kind of on the fence as to whether this might be for them or not?
Yeah, I mean, I was that person. I was on the fence. I can't explain it, but it was just like Mark said earlier about, we're blokes. We're all men, and we don't like talking about things. We don't like sharing things. And I just felt like when I joined, I was like thinking maybe in my mind, is this going to be for me? Is it going to work? And I was like, I don't know. And that's I was really on the fence. I saw it, like I said, I saw it advertised so many times on Facebook, and I always clicked on the link, and I always was reading through it, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to leave it. And no, this won't be for me. This won't be for me. It won't work. And then I just, like I mentioned off camera, my third daughter was, due any moment now. And I was like, I get out of breath walking up the stairs. I'm not going to be able to handle her, crawling around and running around when she gets a bit older. So I've really got to do something about my weight. It was a big issue for me. I was, snoring at night, keeping, the wife up, and, really loud snoring and stuff like that. And she just said to me one day, like, yeah, you need to do something. It's not going to help. And that's when I decided to join. So I think to everyone else, I'm not going to look back. I won't look back. And joining was probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life, because it's now got my weight under control. I'm in a much better position than I was before. So if there's people out there who are thinking, oh, this might not be for me, this might not work. Like Ben said, I didn't have a free trial on my first day when I joined. I didn't have that free trial. Just do it. It's you get a free trial there for a session. It's something you think you can really get on board with, and I'll definitely recommend it. And everyone at that club's on the same either on the same journey or been on that same journey as you are right now. So that we're all there to support you and give you advice and help you along with your journey as well. So if there is anyone out there who is on the fence, just come along, sign up, come to one of our trial sessions, and I can guarantee you will see the benefits of if you just come along. Even just getting into habits of tracking what you eat, you'll be amazed at how much weight can be lost just by tracking your food. Because once it's written down on paper, you're just like, oh, I really eat that much? I really do that? It really does help with everything, and my life, I've never, especially my adult life anyway, I've never been healthier, and I've never been as happy physically and mentally as I am, right now, because of Man Be Fat. So I'd say to anyone, if you're on the fence, it's really good. It's a really good place to come along and join.
It's a phenomenal way to end this segment. Again, to both of you, to Dave and Ben, thank you so much for your time this evening. Thank you so much for speaking so extensively and clearly about the message and about your personal stories. I think that really helps convey the message. As I say, Ben, we'll certainly be staying in touch, and we'll hopefully have you on certainly more times this year. We can catch up on what's going on, what the latest is, and hopefully really promote this message of positivity together. But gentlemen, thank you both very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so much for having us on.
No worries. We will speak to you again soon. But that was Man versus Fat Football Swindon. Again, we'll be sharing all the details across our socials, and hopefully, if it is something that you feel could be of benefit to yourself, if something you want more information on, and you can't find the people you need, then speak to us. We will get you in touch. As we say goodbye to them, we say hello and good evening to Nick. Evening, Nick.
Evening, guys. How are we doing?
Very well, thank you, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all good. Very good, thank you.
There is a lot to talk about Swindon-wise, but as Mark is here, and I'm not sure how long we've got Mark for, because he did say he might not be here for the full episode tonight. I wanted to have some fun.
Will you get out? Will you get out?
Well, I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun before we talk about FA statements and luxury FA Cup draws that might not even happen. I want to have some fun. I saw something on the internet yesterday. I shared it in our WhatsApp chat, and I'm going to bring it up on the screen now for everyone watching along. For anyone listening back, it is a message I put in our WhatsApp chat that reads this. This is how washed football is in 2026. I just watched an Instagram reel with a World 11 06 versus 26. And this was the teams they read out. Buffon v Donnarumma, Zambrotta v Hakimi, Cannavaro v Saliba, Nesta versus Van Dijk, and I couldn't help but put laughing emojis next to that one. Cole versus Nuno Mendes, Pirlo versus Vitinha, Zidane versus Pedri, Kaká versus Bellingham, Ronaldinho, my goat, versus Lamine Yamal, Eto'o versus Haaland, and Henry versus Mbappe. That is World 11 versus World 11, 20 years apart. And for those watching along at the bottom, I said, I make that 10-1. Now, Mark, you were very quick to get involved in this discussion and almost wholeheartedly agreed with me that Haaland was the only one that we could justify putting into the 06 World 11.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Pirlo versus Vitinha is almost a joke of a comparison, really. Pirlo, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the classiest midfield players of my lifetime. And I'll never forget when England played Italy. I can't remember whether it was a qualifier or something at home when Pirlo was in the latter stages of his career. He may even have been about 39 at the time. And everyone was saying, "Oh, Pirlo's washed. We're going to absolutely rinse this Italian side." That guy ran the show. Absolutely tore England a new one, and it's just like, class is permanent. And he was just superb. But yeah, I mean, I think the one that caused me the most debate, I think was it Kaka versus Bellingham on there. And obviously, yes, I agree with what you were saying. The 06 Kaka was just like different gravy.
06 Kaka was unbelievable.
But Bellingham's got it all to achieve in the next 10 years. And admittedly, he's at the very end, very start of his career, and what he's achieved already has been phenomenal.
Yeah, because I think the point you made that I agreed with, although Ronaldinho will forever be my GOAT, he is the man that made me stay in love with football. I think you made the great point. The Ronaldinho versus Yamal debate, we need to have in 10, 15 years' time when Yamal's had a career.
Yeah.
But it's like I was talking to an Arsenal fan at work, and I said, I dare you to tell me that Saliba is better than Cannavaro. And I said, I challenge anyone to tell me that Mbappe is better than Thierry Henry. I challenge anyone to tell me that's the case. But the reason I show this and the fun I want to have is I wanted to know just how washed football is in 2026. So I did the only thing that made sense. I went and found the Swindon Town team of 2005/6, and I compared the most used 11 to the current Swindon Town 11. And I think you'll find, with the exception of one player, because obviously in those days it was very 4-4-2 generally, I have matched everyone up with their most obvious likely player. And what I would like you guys to discuss is, much like the World 11, was Swindon much better 20 years ago than we are today? Now, if anyone's unsure about their STFC history, the 05-06 season, we got relegated from League One. So that gives you an idea. We're talking about a relegated League One side against a promotion-chasing League Two side. But here we go. Here's the comparisons. So the goalkeepers, obviously, in 26, we are going Ripley, and he is going head-to-head with Rhys Evans, a man who has been on our show before, of course. Now, it's a very difficult choice, this, I feel, but Mark, as you are here, I'm going to start with you. Pick a goalkeeper. Are we going 06 Swindon, or are we going 26 Swindon?
Now, I quite liked Rhys Evans as a player, but then to be honest with you, we weren't a particularly good side back then, and it would have been very easy to stand out.
To be fair, his competition that year was an on-loan Tom Heaton.
I mean, I like Connor Ripley a lot. I think he commands the area and is backbone of a lot of good that we do for a top 6 League Two side. I think he will more than be capable of holding his own in League One above. But I would say that Rhys Evans was a better shot stopper. Yeah. And again, this is just me being, a from a fan's perspective, because I don't dislike either of these players. I thought they were, they had decent and are having decent careers at SM1. So, who would I pick out of the two? I'm going to go with the current Gloveman. I would pick Ripley over the two.
Okay, Nick.
Yeah, like you've obviously thrown in, it's going to be hard choices all the way through. I otherwise we wouldn't be doing it, would we? I do like Ripley. I think, as Mark said, he does command his area. He has got a big personality about him, and for me, that's a massive thing for a keeper. He keeps the defence on their toes. Yeah, he makes the odd. Well, not the odd. His passing sometimes is hit and miss. He can go from really, really good to what the hell are you doing? But yeah, overall, I think the way he commands his box, and certainly his 6-yard box, which is where we've had problems with some keepers, they're not having the authority within that area. So on that basis, I'd go with Ripley.
So, Woody, your opinion on this, although valid, is that the vote is almost mute, much like your microphone at the moment, because the boys have already given Ripley 2 votes. But would you have picked Ripley over Evans?
Yeah, probably for the similar reasons that Mark gave around the passion. I really like that in my goalkeepers. Rhys Evans was a very good keeper. He had over 100 games for us, didn't he?
And he was also England's #1. Don't forget.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but he was also a Swindon boy, wasn't he? So
he still is.
Also born and inbred. Yeah, I think Ripley tips it just because I seem to I could try to compare the two feelings watching the two sides, and Rhys Evans for me was just very good at what he does, but didn't ever stand out to me as a, I absolutely love you type goalkeeper.
Okay. Now, I have fit the 06 Swindon into the current formation, which is why you'll see in a moment the one player who is completely kind of out of position. What I've gone with then, centre backs. Centre back number 1, representing team 26, we've got Mbete, the cult hero, and he is going one-on-one with another man who has been on FRI before, Gerald Eiffel. We'll go reverse order this time. Woody.
I mean, they're both Watford boys, aren't they, as well?
Watford boys, yes.
I'll have to go Gerald Eiffel. Don't get me wrong, Mbabete's been brilliant, but he's still early in his career. I think if you gave me a prime Gerald Eiffel, I'd probably maybe not nowadays football, but definitely.
You give me a prime Gerald Eiffel, he is starting in this team, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's not very good at passing the ball, though, was he? Like, he could knock it 45 yards, but he couldn't knock it 5. But no, I really like Gerald Eiffel for a traditional centre back, and Gerald Eiffel wasn't as much of a liability as Mbete can be sometimes as well. So
I'll come back to that.
So that's one vote for Gerald. Nick?
Yeah, I agree with Woody. I mean, Mbabete's got the potential to be as good, if not better. He's obviously a young kid who's done really well, and he's never let the side down when he's been in it. Plenty of enthusiasm, plenty of character, which again is what you want. I think what he does is probably better than Eiffel. He does do the simple thing. He does win the ball and get rid of it. Give it to somebody who can actually play football better on the ground. So I like the simplicity of his game. But Gerald Eiffel, just an absolute beast. I mean, just that goal alone against Walsall at the end of the season, when he absolutely powered a header into the net at the town end, and both teams got promotion that day. That was just phenomenal.
Though, Nick, if ever there was a
well, yeah, it was still good. It was
no football
good.
at all. At 1-1, it was game over.
Wasn't it? Clayton Ince just stepped out of the way, did he? And just there you go.
Yeah. But I loved it anyway. I loved it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like you say he was just a typical all-out centre half. So yeah, I'll put Eiffel in all day long.
Okay. So again, we're going the other way, Mark. Gerald already in, but would you have gone for him in this choice?
No, I'd have picked Mbete. I mean, both. I don't know whether it's something to do with the school of coaching at Watford, but both Eiffel and Mbete have a bit of a penchant for not attacking the first ball, i.e., letting it bounce before they'll do something with it, which is a frustration of mine for centre backs. But that aside, the only reason I'm picking Mbete over Eiffel, and obviously I watched a lot of Eiffel's games back in the days when I was home and away every week, is that Mbete's mistakes don't faze him. Sometimes mistakes would really faze Eiffel, and it would really affect his demeanour and his game. Not taking away from the fact that I still love Gerald Eiffel as a footballer, and I love Swindon centre backs that are quality and make a name for themselves in any case. But Mbete, for me, he nothing is phasing him, and I think just from a character and a personality point of view, as he grows into the game and irons out those wrinkles, he's got the potential to be, a decent footballer. And not at what level yet, I don't know, but he has the capacity to be a really good footballer. So for me, just from comparing the two and from what I've seen of Mbete so far, I would go for him.
Okay. Nick, we're going to start with you this time, and this is the big one at centre back. This is the middle centre back. This is a heavyweight tussle. As I've gone for Tafazorli as the best of the current crop, going head to head with Sean O'Hanlon.
To be honest, I don't think I watched a massive amount of football through that period, and I don't think I watched a lot of O'Hanlon, so it'd be hard for me to give a real.
It was given skipper's armband at 21, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I would go with. I'd have to go with from what I've seen and remember, Taff for his leadership qualities. He's good at what he does, what he needs to do. But I think as much as we've seen from the clips, he's talking on the pitch, is how he can help the team members around him, how he can be a leader on the pitch, which is what you want at your centre backs. So I would on that basis go for Taff.
Okay. Woody, I'm going to come to you next. What should say though, Sean O'Hanlon, I think, would be a fantastic interview on FRI one day if we could ever sort that out. But yeah, Woody, Tafazorli or O'Hanlon?
Well, O'Hanlon was a goal scoring centre back, wasn't he? He scored a few.
Taff's got 2 now, isn't he?
Has he got 2?
I think he's on 2.
Remember 1.
It might be 1.
However, he did leave us for the shiny new thing at Milton Keynes, didn't he?
He certainly did.
So part of me kind of thinks that, because that was a massive money chasing move, wasn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong, I've said many times on here that I don't blame footballers for chasing after money. It's a career like no other, but when it happens to somebody at your own club, you get pissed off about it. I really like Tafazorli, and I think it'd be hypocritical because obviously when Taff signed, I was more excited about him than I was Ollie Palmer. So, and I love his. I think if you've got Gerald Eiffel there, he's somebody who's got the balls to be able to keep him in line. And I think O'Hanlon, Gerald Eiffel was the main man out of those two, really. So I think I'd go with Taff. I'm thinking practical now. I'd go
thinking tactically.
Yeah. And I like it. And with Taff in the line, you won't have to worry about paying for a nutritionist. So that's my other thought on it.
Well, Mark, going into this one, then we've already done better with 26 than the World 11s did, because that's our second entrant from the current crop.
Yeah, I think for me, Taff would take the place. I mean, I was just thinking about why between the two, because I like both footballers and I like and I like what they've achieved and do in the game. But Taff was only 5 years ago. Probably would have been better than Greer in his pomp and circumstance. And what was going through my head was, would Sean O'Hanlon been held in the same regard as Greer? So from a footballing perspective,
if we had a Gordon Greer now,
but we've got the League Two equivalent in Tafazorli. So I mean, I appreciate he's coming towards the twilight of his career, but again, I love those little reels that he shows of him on the pitch talking and geeing up the players and telling them where to be, even telling the skipper where he's got to be. That is pure leadership. And from my point of view, I don't remember. Again, we didn't have the tech back then to probably run around the pitch and follow them like we do now. And maybe Sean O'Hanlon was as vocal, but from what I've seen, I really like Taff as a leader on the pitch. And and as Nick's already said, he scored goals as well. So there's just what's not to like about Taff. So from my point of view, I'm picking him and sticking him in too.
Okay. Well, we're about to see the one player who's drastically out of position, so this should be quite straightforward. However, Mark did make a point to me off camera when I said we were doing this, that I didn't do the whole squad, I only did the starting 11, but there is a slightly comedic substitute that I could throw in at this point just for lols. We could do a direct comparison between Ryan Delaney and Charlie Conwyn Platt. as the option for sub. Although, as I mentioned it, thinking I was being funny, Mark, you said that you actually didn't mind a bit of Conwyn Platt.
I didn't mind Conwyn Platt. I think he was a squad filler of a player, for want of a better expression, but he didn't really let us down.
Troy Archibald Henville.
Well, that's probably a whole separate show we could dedicate to that one, Fifey. But
if he was ever fit,
yeah, indeed. No, Charlie Conwyn Platt. Yeah, I mean, instantly memorable from his name, instantly forgettable for his performances. Ryan Delaney, you know, when he has been able to play physically this season, in what he has shown us, there's clearly a footballer that's there. I do feel for the guy, because he's clearly not been able to give or show us what the reason why we signed him in the first place. But yeah, I mean, out of the two, I'm picking Charlie Conwyn Platt, just because I saw a lot more games in game time and realised that he could actually offer something.
Well, the real debate is for the third centre-back role, and I'm trying to work out the logistics of who should go next. I'm not 100% sure. So, Woody, I'm going to start with you. I imagine it's quite straightforward, unfortunately for this player, because he is out of position in this debate. We've got fan favourite, Woody's personal favourite, Knight LaBelle, going one-on-one at right centre-back with a man who shouldn't be there, but he doesn't fit anywhere else, Jack Smith.
I loved Jack Smith. Absolutely loved Jack Smith. But I wouldn't put him at right centre back. So, as the right back that he was, I thought he was class. But
you'll understand why he's not getting the right wing back role shortly.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But I was thinking that. I was thinking, I don't know, a young Jack Smith could probably go and right wing back potentially. But well, it has to. Well, to be fair to him, by his own credit, it'd be Knight LaBelle now anyway, because I do think he's come on loads, leaps and bounds the last few games.
Mark?
Very short debate. Knight LaBelle for you know, everything that we've seen so far this season. He's a better technical footballer than Jack Smith was. I'm not going to take anything away from Jack Smith's work rate and want to do well, but there is a definite gulf between the two in terms of technical ability, and Knight LaBelle is going to take it on that basis alone.
Fair enough. Nick, do you agree with the boys?
Yeah, 100%. But surely, Fifey, wasn't there another player in that squad that could have played centre half?
Yeah, but I was picking like the most used players to make it make sense.
Well, that's a wrong shout, but yeah, Knight LaBelle.
The problem is, like I say, because that's
it was, mate. Charlie Conwyn Platt.
Because that Swindon team played 4-4-2, I either had to drop Jack Smith from the conversation completely, and pick a substitute or not. Okay, well, Nick, I'm going to start with you this time, and we're going to go with that right wing back role that Jack Smith hasn't been picked for. I've decided that Snowden is the obvious option to represent Team 26 here. And he is going against, I think, one of the all-time Swindon greats on that side, Ricky Shakes.
Shake.
Ole, 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 ole.
We got the Ricky Shakes.
Yeah. Work rate, positioning, enthusiasm, skill-wise, it's got to be Snowy for me. He's just such a superior player.
The personification of Shakes until you said positioning.
No, it's Snowy all day long. Shakes wouldn't hold a cocker hat to him. No, Snowy. I think Snowy's probably one of the best player signings that we've made this season. As a permanent, I really like him. He's really probably because of Munroe, he's probably a bit under the radar. But yeah, for me, Snowy all day long.
Okay, Mark.
Yeah, Snowy 100%. I think a fairer comparison for Ricky Shakes would probably be either Tyrese Shade or Romeo Hutton. I hold him in the same regard as those two players.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Snowden's got an engine on him for a start. He clearly knows where the back of the net is, and he is able to cross the ball probably better than our best ever ball crosser in Romeo Hutton. So yeah, on that basis, yep, Snowy, hands down.
Woody, I don't know about you, but I think our fellow fools are forgetting just how many memorable moments Ricky Shakes gave us.
Regale us, Ivy.
I remember all three of them. And also, I just thought as well, centre back, wasn't Andrew Gurney still part of that squad?
He was, but he didn't start as many games. So again,
I guess that I was just trying to think. I'm sure he was. Maybe he'd started smoking by then.
Too many pre-match Cornish pasties.
You wait till you see the midfield options from that season.
Well, I think I might know one of them. Ricky Shakes. He was a right-footed Alan O'Brien, in my opinion.
Alan.
Yeah, like he just looked like he was going to do something exciting every time he was on the ball, and you could almost see him thinking about it, and then he just wouldn't do it.
Did he not get called up to the same Trinidad and Tobago squad as Dwight York?
Yeah, but mate, let's not forget George Best was from Northern Ireland. So they all. Every country has their prime suspect at some point. So,
okay. Yeah. So we're sticking with Team 26. Let's move over to the left-hand side. Mark, we've got the fresh news that we'll be discussing in a little while on Finley Munroe, but it would be unfair not to pick him on that basis. So he is representing Team 26, and he's going up against the throw-in merchant that was Andy Nicholas.
Yeah, I mean, Finley Munroe, 100% of the time. I mean, what's not to have... I mean, they say don't fall in love with a lone player, but, I mean, I've gone, head over heels for Finley Munroe. Absolutely everything about his game I've loved. I mean, Andy Nicholas would never throw himself in for a sliding tackle the way that Munroe has been doing every week. I mean, the 05-06 team probably had the whitest shorts that I've ever seen Swindon players wear over many seasons. But Finley Munroe, goal scorer, engine, can cross the ball, exciting to watch. No contest. No contest.
I was just thinking while Mark was talking there, Woody, wouldn't it have made more sense to have Nico as the third centre-back and let Jack Smith play at left wing-back, maybe? Not that it wouldn't matter too much for the vote, but Woody, Andy Nicholas, Finley Munroe?
Finley Munroe all day long. Andy Nicholas, do you know what? I didn't dislike him. He was just a very... I think
no
he
feeling
was
towards him whatsoever.
Yeah, he was like a dying breed of left back, wasn't he? He was just kind of... He's probably one of the few remaining, as generations started to change. He wasn't a massively attacking fullback. So, yeah, I do feel for him. It's almost a bit incomparable, I guess, in one way. But, but Finley Munroe, I agree with what Mark said. I again, just so excited by watching him, and his contribution this season is between him and Snowden, I think, is the reason we've been so lethal.
Nick, we're getting dangerously close to Team 26 taking a 10-1 win like World 1106 did. Do you agree, Munroe over Nicholas?
You can't say anything else, can you? I did quite like Andy Nicholas, though, to be fair. And I think he was a steady player. And Munroe is far from steady. He's at the other end of the scale. As the guys have already said, I really don't need to say it anymore. It's just, sorry you're leaving us, pal. And great luck for the future.
Well, Mark, I'm going to start with you as we move into the centre of midfield now.
I'm looking forward to this.
Well, there's a couple of Titanic tussles here, I feel. But the first one is not one of them. So you're going to start with the cult hero from 06 that was Michael Pook as he goes up against Mr. Nichols.
I'm going to try and be objective here. I couldn't stand Michael Pook as a footballer. I thought it was a complete waste of space in the midfield for Swindon.
Oh, that's harsh.
I couldn't have been happier when he signed for Cheltenham. Yeah, I mean, Tom Nichols is probably part of one of the most industrious midfielders we've had for I would say for probably the last 7 or 8 years. So it's very, very difficult for me not to see beyond what we've got currently in the midfield, because the guys are working hard and doing it, exceptionally well at what they're supposed to be doing. But yeah, for me, despite Pook having been here a long time, I think Nichols has probably already outscored him. Yeah, Nichols for me every day of the week. Sorry, I'll keep it there. Otherwise, I'll go off on a massive tangent.
Nick?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mark, but I actually did quite like Pookie, and I thought he got a bit of a raw deal because he was never ever a fan's favourite, and he seemed to be the one they'd pick out when it was all going tits up. But I did quite like him personally, but yeah, again, Nichols is doing everything in that position that you'd want him to do, and in certainly his ball winning is improved. He's winning the ball back. He's making tackles. He's getting stuck in, whereas he probably wasn't doing that so much when he was back in that midfield role, because I think he was signed as a forward. And obviously Holloway's done his magic on him, and yeah, it's Nichols all day long.
Okay, Woody?
I feel like I can't really go against my old drinking buddy, Michael Pook, especially after when he got done for drink driving. But I think Tom Nichols wins it just because of what I've seen, as Nick said, over the last year of what Nichols is capable of producing now. Had you asked me maybe this time last year, I probably the answer genuinely might have been a bit different. But but I didn't mind Pookie. I kind of agree with Nick. I think he did get a bit of a raw deal. He was almost like a bit like Iandolo to me. He was just kind of like
a bit David Duke.
Really, maybe not quite that level, but yeah, no. But he did stay local, didn't he? And obviously went to Cheltenham. I wasn't disappointed when he went to Cheltenham. Let's put it that way. But I did feel that he probably could have done more, but he was just too slow at progressing, or too slow in general, to be fair.
Okay. So that is another one for Team 26. Nick, you're starting us off with what I think will genuinely be the hardest choice of the night. The second centre mid role, representing Team 06, another guest of FRI past, Stefani Miglioranzi. Going up against Mr. 2.5 years more, Kilkenny. Pick that one, Nick. Do you see why I put Pook against Nichols?
Yeah, 100%. Kilkenny is probably one of the best footballers we've got at the town this season, and he can run a game. And when he's not on it, I think the team does suffer.
Just before you go any further, Nick, I would literally say, go back 20 years, have that same conversation. You would be saying Miglioranzi's probably one of the best footballers we've got, and when he's not on it, town suffer.
Well, there you are. What a comparison. Miglioranzi was just pure class. And I don't think you need to say much more than that. He was just such a footballer. When he was on it, town were on it. And I suppose you could say with Kilkenny, one man shouldn't be the critical element of a team. You need a team, but Miggs was just pure class. For me, it's as simple as that. Just a glorious footballer.
Woody, I know.
So it's Miggs.
I know what a fan you are, Woody, of Kilkenny. I know what a fanboy you are of Stefani. Before we get into the debate, if I was to offer you now a central midfield of Miglioranzi and Kilkenny, would you take it?
Jesus, sign me up for the next 3 years. That's what I'd say. It's an interesting one, actually, because towards the end of 06 was the year that Miglioranzi, he was class, but it wasn't his best year. If I remember rightly, when Ifianora came in, what's his Diagorora or whatever his name is, contended to come in and that's the one, came in and took his place, didn't he? And I'm sure it was around the Ifianora period that, like, all of a sudden, I think Miglioranzi might have discussed that a little bit with us on the pod as well. So
if you haven't listened to it, go back. It's a great listen.
Yeah, and I think the fanboy in me obviously says Miglioranzi, but then if I'm thinking of like how good Kilkenny is now compared to 2006 Miglioranzi, I'd probably say Kilkenny.
So you're kind of doing the reverse 06 Kaká debate that me and Mark were having.
Yeah, but your question is 2006 Miglioranzi versus 2026 Kilkenny, and oh god, this is killing me inside. 2026 Kilkenny does pip it based on what you've asked me to look at. So 06 Miglioranzi wasn't playing that often. So yeah.
Mark, it's taken 8
players. Go down some bleach,
but we finally got a deciding vote.
For me, this is purely based on the number of games and the excitement level that I've had from watching this particular player, and I'm building up to this. I'm not letting you go, letting you know straight away who my choice is. But this individual is, and probably will always be, one of my top 10 Swindon Town players of all time.
Well done, Gab.
100%. And for me, the only reason this individual was picking it was just purely because, as I remember it, there were a number of occasions where he would have you up from your seat, wondering what was going to happen next. The ability to do the unpredictable. So for me, Miggs takes the pick.
Woody's not upset by that choice at all, but he's also like, damn it, I've got on record. This kid's picking someone else.
Yeah. Nobody clip that, will they?
Well, Woody, you get to start this time as we move into that more advanced midfielder, and that can only mean that Mr. Oldacre is the pick for 26, and he goes up against the man you were just talking about, Toumani Diagouraga.
Oh, Oldacre all day long. No, I'm not even going to change my mind on that.
It's not even entertaining this.
Not even entertaining it.
Mark?
How dare you ask me the question? Oldacre, 100%.
Is this Nesta versus Van Dijk vibes?
Yeah.
It's more along the lines that Oldacre can pick a pass and score a goal. I mean, he might not be the quickest when doing his defensive work, but even that's improved in recent weeks, to be fair to him.
Diagouraga was so good, he came back some years later.
That's because he was cheap.
I believe he was available on a free, yes.
But yes,
Nick,
easy
you back
answer.
in the boys?
Yeah, got to be. Simple answer, yes. I don't need to expand on it.
That means we go to the front two. Mark, you can kick things off. I think there's only one choice here, but it's possibly not as straightforward as you think it is. So we've got currently injured, and we wish him the very best, Paul Glatzel, representing Team 26, and he's going up against the scores for every fucker but us, Jamie Curitan.
Oh. Paul Glatzel, 100%. Jamie Curitan, along with Tony Thorpe, were two of the worst signings we have ever made. I have no time for either of them, and I will never speak of them again on this podcast.
Nick?
Look, let's be honest. Paul Glatzel, we've talked about his work rate and the fact that he can chip in with a goal or two.
I think his goal scoring record's similar to Jamie Curitan's.
Yeah, but it's gone 10 o'clock, hasn't it? Yeah, he's not a cunt.
Nick, Puritan v Glatzel.
When the pair of them signed, who were knocking goals in left, right, and centre for wherever they'd been, I was really excited, and that was it.
Could be a fucking barn.
Puritan, I wouldn't give him the time of day. No, Glatz, all the blacking Puritan. Oh Jesus, no. No.
Woody, if I'd asked you 6 to 9 months ago, did you think that Paul Glatzel would be getting unanimous decision in a Swindon Town team? He's muted. Woody.
No, sorry, I was doing some maths. 2 seconds.
Okay. Oh, he's counting the goals. He's counting how many goals.
Shit.
Puritan's got more than Glatzel.
Puritan's got a better goal record than Glatzel. For fuck's sake.
He was still shit though.
Yeah, he was still shit. They were probably all penalties.
He's got a better goal scoring record, but we wouldn't pick him either. My boy Glatz. Okay. All right, Woody. Well, maybe, and probably not, but maybe this one will be a bit harder for you. Obviously, it is one of the highest goal scorers in Europe, in Aaron Drinnen, representing Team 26. And he is going up against the big man of Team 06. We are going worldwide with our New Zealand World Cup representative, Rory Fallon.
Again, 2026 Aaron Drinnen versus 2006 Rory Fallon. As much as I loved Rory Fallon, gives me the biggest memory, obviously the Bristol City goal, but I don't think that was that season. No. And so yeah, Aaron Drinnen.
Okay. Nick?
If you're talking for a forward, what they're there to do, Drinnen, without a date. Yeah, Fallon had his moments, but Drinnen has been so consistent. And that's what you want in a forward, that when he's on the pitch, we've got a good chance of winning games.
Okay.
The other thing as well, Fifey, is how many goals has Drinnen got now? 19?
This year?
Yeah.
I think it's 19.
Is it 19?
In all competitions.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so it's about 19.
That's December. That's arguably at December, isn't it? Because we've only played one game this year.
And the fact he's been banned for X amount as well.
And he's been banned for X amount. Fallon got
five games.
The entire season.
Wow. There you go.
And he was our top scorer. Fuck you, Puritan.
Mark, final word on this for you?
Yeah, Drinnen for me. I love Rory Fallon, and like I said, that was 14 in a side that were relegated. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, to be fair, that's not a bad return at all. And I was just a bit gutted when Rory Fallon left. So that is probably the hardest choice for me, because Drinnen's only really hit the levels this season in comparison, whereas Rory was probably a little bit more consistent than that. But yeah, Drizzle.
At the start of this discussion, the World 11 from 06 beat the World 11 of 26 by 10 players to 1. I can confirm that the Swindon team of 26 have beaten the Swindon team of 06 by 9 players to 2. Only Gerald Ifor and Stefani Miglioranzi have made the current team from the options you were given. Good work.
Rory Fallon will go down as one of the weirdest. Didn't we loan him out to Yeovil as well?
Yeah.
That was weird, wasn't it? Because that was 2005, must have been 2004, 2005, I think. What a weird loan out that was. Yeah.
I think that was financially motivated, Woody. Shock horror.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good point.
Really?
Well, fun and games over. We do actually have some Swindon Town news to discuss. We should start with the... there's been so much news. Again, we went into this episode thinking there was going to be nothing, and then in the last couple of hours, there's been nothing but news. So let's start at the beginning and work our way to where we are. Finley Munroe has been recalled by Aston Villa, ready to seal a move to reportedly either Middlesbrough or Bristol City. We obviously wish him the best. We thank him for everything he's done. I'm guessing it's highly unlikely that he's going to get loaned back to us. So, although never say never. Mark, you've already expressed much positivity about the impact he had during his short time here. He's going to be almost impossible to replace, isn't he, for the second half of the season?
Well, I mean, that's subjective. Before Finley Munroe came here, did anyone know about Finley Munroe? No. Has he had a really successful loan and excelled here? And have we helped shape his career to the extent where he's likely to get a first team move to a team in the higher division? 100%. Is he irreplaceable? No. And I'm going to be positive here, because everything that Holloway has bought, or everyone that Holloway's bought in, particularly in the younger player category, has shown or made good on the promise for the position that they're meant to be playing in.
Yep.
And I could argue that for every single one of the loans that we bought in this year. So is he irreplaceable? No, I think we'll find. I mean, Holloway said that there's a replacement that we can put, press the trigger for incredibly quickly. Whether that deal's already been done now or was happening as a result of the fact that they probably knew that Munroe was going to get recalled. Wait and see. I mean, I'm excited by what's coming in already from the lad from Villa. He looks like a real find. So no, not irreplaceable. Will he be missed? Absolutely, because I loved everything about his game. But I'm equally excited that that whoever comes in will be as exciting.
Just on the point you made about everyone that we've had in on loan, Mike points out Prince Will.
I have short-term amnesia. Who?
There's an exception to every rule, isn't there, mate?
There is. Okay, well, 1 out of 5 ain't bad. So,
again, Woody, it's going to be all right. Maybe impossible to replace is the wrong term. It's going to be extremely difficult to find someone who has as big an impact as quickly as Munroe did in the first half of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, he did take a couple of games, didn't he? I think I remember all of us saying that Snowden and Munroe, I think at one point we were a bit concerned about. I guess maybe the positive sign of it is with Wilson Brown coming back. Wilson Brown doesn't mind a crossfield ball a little bit either. So is there an opportunity? Obviously, I'm kind of hoping Kirkman, obviously, he's coming back from injury. He finished last season quite strongly. I'm hoping it is Bristol City, and the reason I say this because the only thing I've done since I got back from Chippenham was have a look at Bristol City's squad before we joined the pod, and they've got quite a lot of left-sided players at the moment, and they got good ones as well. They got that Neto Borges. Obviously, Cameron Pring, I think, might be out for the season. I know he definitely missed the start of the season. They've got Hayden Roberts as well, the youngster Elijah Morrison. So they've got a wealth of left-sided players, Bristol City, already.
So you think they might be more open to the opportunity of sending him back?
I'm more thinking location-wise, it's more likely to send him back. And we talk about the Villa connection, what we did with Kane Kessler-Hayden, what we did with Munroe. Look what we've done with Knight LaBelle. But I'm on about Bristol City side of it. I mean, as well, in terms of if he goes to Bristol City, obviously Murphy's gone back. Bristol City, we seem to, despite the rivalry within the fan bases, we do tend to have quite a good connection with Bristol City and their players. I mean, if they want to send a Scott Twine back as a little bit of a consolation, that's fine. But yeah, I genuinely, I think if he goes Bristol City, then I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back for the rest of the season. But I guess being a Swindon fan, I've got to try and just hope that happens rather than realistically think it's going to happen.
Nick, I know we joke about it, and I think it was even referenced earlier in the show that you should never fall in love with a lone player, but it becomes difficult when someone like Munroe ends up leaving and you really wanted him to stay, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, I was just going to repeat exactly what Woody said there. He did take a while to settle into the team, which isn't surprising. In the same as Snow, he took a while to settle into the team and be as good as he is. And if it is Bristol City, I can't remember who the ex-City player that Holloway's got a good relationship with there. Is it Tinian? I think it's Brian Tinian. He's got a good relationship with him. So there is every chance, or there's a better chance of us getting a loan back if he goes to Bristol City. So, from that point of view, if he goes, and I've seen a lot online about people having a go at Villa for recalling him. I don't blame Villa for recalling him, and if they can get 350,000 for him, and I believe his contract's up at the end of this season, you're going to do it. 100% you're going to do it. So, I don't blame them at all. If you don't want to be upset, don't get loan players, because if they turn out to be really good, you are going to lose them. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, but we have got enough defensive players that can fill in. They won't be as good, but like you say, you got Kirkman. McGregor played there again. It we stuffed in the cup. Bolton. Outstanding. So there's no reason why he can't slot in there. So we've got players, and like you say, Tom Wilson-Brown coming back into the squad. So there are alternatives, and if Holloway's already talking about it, he's possibly got a replacement lined up as well as. I don't think it'll weaken the team that much. We will lose a bit of that attacking flair, from the left, and we've got it on the right. So, but I don't think it's a disaster for the team going forward. It's as good as he has been.
I will say though, Fife, I didn't realise that he's actually only missed one game this season. And that was the game he was as in league game
suspended.
But it's the Fleetwood game he was suspended for, which we coincidentally didn't win. But I didn't realise that until earlier as well. That league games, he's not actually missed any league games.
There you go. Speaking of people missing league games, Woody, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but it's been an undercurrent to these shows for many weeks now. The FA statement has come out about Ollie Clarke's suspension, and well, it doesn't read well for his actions on the pitch, does it?
No, I very briefly I asked Ben for it in the chat, and then I didn't properly read it. Luckily, he won't be watching this. Yeah, but I mean, again, it's just, how long's it taken him to get that statement to come out? Like I say, I don't condone anything that he might have allegedly done. Like whatever the rumours are, etc. But I don't know. I still think I think obviously Clarke's. I mean, he's nearly finished that ban now, isn't he? But
he's got three
games left. He's definitely over halfway, and I'm assuming the trophy game tomorrow doesn't count as one of them. But I
think it does, Woody, because it said any first team fixture.
Oh, okay. Because you can't be suspended because he couldn't be suspended. Somebody who was it? It wasn't. Didn't. It was Drennan, wasn't it? It wasn't suspended.
Yeah, but that's different rules. You can play in that.
Suspension, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
I think because this is a retrospective ban for.
Well, it said any
first team as opposed to yellow cards and red cards.
Well, there's a plus then, I guess. But I don't know. I think yes, obviously Clarke's come out the biggest loser in this. Unfortunately, Swindon's. But I don't think Swindon are second to that. I think the FA have been embarrassing here, to be totally honest, when we spoke about it, and you said you don't want to go into it, but I just think it's embarrassing the way it's been dealt with, how long it took, and the statement coming out 4 games into his ban says it all for me, as well. So yeah, I just think it's embarrassing.
Mark, anything you want to add on the Clarke situation?
It's a bit of an odd one, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And 3 more games without the captain, and he'll be back in the side. And with all due respect, thankfully, we haven't missed him too much results-wise on the pitch. So let's draw a line under it and move on. I think is the best thing we can do. It's you never want these things to happen, but obviously there was, regardless of I guess the club saying there was insufficient evidence to back up the accusations. Clearly, there was enough for the FA to charge the player. So, who are we to argue with the FA, because they always get everything 100% right? So,
Nick, any final comments on that from you?
No, he in the eyes of the FA, he's done wrong. He's been given punishment. He's doing his punishment. That's end of. There's not much else for me. There's not much else to say, because we still don't really know the detail. But do we need to? It's done and dusted now, isn't it? It's so bloody long ago.
Yeah. The other big news tonight was the draw for the FA Cup fourth round. Yes,
Yeah.
being the only professional game postponed in the FA Cup for a frozen pitch, which I can almost guarantee wasn't frozen on Saturday, meant that we were in the hat for the fourth round. And, well, we were looking for a big draw, and we got the big draw. Man City away. Yes, we get to run it back from a few years ago, but this time we get to do it on their stomping ground, Nick. It's very exciting, isn't it?
No, not for me. For me, that is the worst draw that we could have had. Saying if we get through, and obviously that's we've got a game on to get through. I hate the way Man City play. For me, I just think they're boring. They're good at what they do, and against teams at our level, like they do with Exeter, there's a potential there to take a hammering. So I don't care if we get knocked out of the FA Cup, to be honest, as long as we beat Salford on Saturday. And if we get through and we go to Man City, I'll go to the game because it's a day out. It's a new stadium to go to. But say for me, it's absolutely the worst draw we could have had. So yeah, I'm not excited at all. So if we go out, we go out, and I couldn't care less.
League will always be more important, Woody. But it's not every day we get to go to a Premier League ground, is it? So should we be fortunate enough to beat Salford, then it is an opportunity to do something different.
Yeah, I mean, they did destroy Exeter, didn't they? I mean, that was fucking
but we're better
you
than
don't
Exeter.
Yeah, that's true. You don't see that in professional football very often now, do you? I mean, the good thing is obviously Man City are likely to sell more, which means we get more of a gate receipt, because I'm sure it's 50-50 at this stage now. So yeah,
I think it's 45-45 and 10% to the FA.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, the FA can't go without, can they? You know, they only have to pay. Clubs only have to pay thousands to get into the fucking competition. But the so yeah, it's yeah. I mean, that's probably the biggest plus. Man City, obviously, the Etihad. It's a bit of a.
I'm going to have to interrupt, gents, and I'm going to have to call out the double standards, because you are a representation at this point of Swindon fans. Okay, a couple of weeks ago, the entire fan base bitched and moaned and complained that we beat a League One side in the first round, we beat a League One side in the second round, and all we got in the third round was Salford. Now we've got former Premier League champions, Champions League winners, and all I'm hearing is, it's boring.
Yeah, but I think I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the case of it being boring in the tie itself. It's the fact that we're not even there yet. So it's for me. That's
we are almost certainly losing to Salford on a week on Tuesday.
Yeah, because
so what are you bitching about then, Fifey?
Yes. Because you're moaning about playing a League Two team, you're moaning about playing a Premier League team. What do you?
But I did. In fairness, I did say Man City is the worst team we could be drawn against. Yeah. Now, if it's any other Premiership side, I would be championing a bit for the fixture.
Villa or Leeds away is what I wanted.
Yeah, any one of them. Newcastle, Villa, Leeds, whoever else is left in from the Prem, or even a high championship side, and you've got,
Bristol
you've
City
got
or Oxford are that kind of thing.
Oh no, I don't want the pox. So Yeah, just for me personally, Man City is just the worst time in the world for us. I mean, they didn't they stuff Salford last season about 8-0 in the cup
9-1 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the
better
chances? Well, we'll see, won't we? Next two games.
We'll on Saturday. Yeah. Sorry, Woody, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. And also, the other reason I'm struggling to get excited about it at the moment is because I know I have a fixture on that date, so I probably wouldn't be able to go anyway, unless they change it. And they won't change it to the Friday because Man City are playing on the Wednesday. So it's either going to hopefully be moved to the Sunday, which means half the fan base won't be able to go. So it's a lose-lose for me either way. Either I don't go,
and we also
or half the fan base can't go.
If it is moved to the Sunday, it's to be played on Valentine's weekend, which we've already been talking up, the big Bassett v Corsham game.
Bassett Corsham game that weekend. So fucking much bigger
it's
things.
Causing a fucking logistical nightmare, this draw.
Yeah, bloody the FA Cup's worth 250 grand. Bassett Corsham's worth about 250 quid. So let's get the priorities right. But yeah,
Mark,
it is. It is. I've already done the. Well, I haven't done it as the Etihad. I've done the City of Manchester Stadium, which I think sounds a lot better anyway. And so, but yeah, it is one I haven't seen play football there yet. So I guess if I can go, it would be another one to tick off. But yeah, it's what we need. We're going to get money either way. I guess is if we get through, we'll get decent whack of money for losing. We'll get decent gate receipt. That is the positive, I guess. If we had drawn someone like fucking Luton away or something like that, the gate receipt wouldn't have been too attractive. So,
Mark, your views on the FA Cup draw?
I think it actually plays into our hands in one respect because I think we'll now take the league points off of Salford at the weekend. I think the bigger incentive for them is playing their very close neighbours, and I'm sure G Nev is already getting very excited to be tweeting about 5 million messages on the subject. And as a result, I think the incentive of getting through to playing them will probably be it will just be one of those games where I think that they'll beat us so that they can get the glamour tie, and the I guess the Salford Man City is probably quite an attractive proposition to the broadcasters.
No, because they love Ian Holloway, don't forget.
They do.
Imagine Ian Holloway versus Pep Guardiola. Fuck me, all of them will be screaming for that game.
Sky Sports love Ian Holloway. TNT Sports, no comment. Only Sky Sports love.
I think for me, watching those names come out of the hat though, and it was getting like we were getting down to like the final 8 names that have been drawn. I was thinking, oh look, there's loads of games now. I quite fancy all the. Please don't give us Man City. Please don't give us Man City. Please, we've got Man City. I started looking at Newcastle away. Oh, that'd be a quality weekend. Or even Macclesfield. Okay, well, if they're gonna have, I wouldn't mind being the club that knocks out the giant killers. But I think, to be fair, based on how well they play, they'd probably give us a game. But that I'd have taken that
against non-league clubs.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but you kind of look at the path that Exeter took. When was it last year before, when they went quite deep in the tournament? I think it would have been quite nice to get through another one. It's just a shame that Man United got knocked out because they were the tie that I was hoping we'd get at Old Trafford, just to remind me of that 1995 game where oh god, who was it that scored for us? We went 1-0 up and you could hear a pin drop him. Was it Peter Thorne? I can't remember what his name was now.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Peter Thorne.
Yeah,
sure
we went 1-0 up after 1-0 up at Old Trafford in the pin. You could hear the whole. That's when United were quality as well, and they played a good mix of first and second string players. But that was the tie. That was the tie for me, really. But yeah, it's just a bit of a sickness, Man City, because it doesn't really matter whether they play their kids. Their kids are all going to be better technically than the players that we've got, because they've been farming those youngsters for many a year to be as elite as they are. So yeah, it's just frustrating. I mean, I guess all the bit of Swindon transfer talk be around, getting McCurdy back on loan, then to see if he can bag another one against him if we do make it through against Salford. But disappointed. I didn't want to be disappointed in the FA Cup draw, drawing a Premier League side, because I shouldn't be disappointed, but I am.
Given the lackluster nature with which you're all celebrating being drawn away to Premier League big-timers, the good news I can give you all is Woody's cursed us and we're shit at midweek fixtures anyway, so we're not going to win it. So fear not. As you guys have said, we'll get the points in the league and we'll just dump the cup.
I'll take that.
Woody, you mentioned it. You mentioned them in passing earlier. We should obviously talk about the fact Luton tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going as well.
I'm me. I'm going.
Yeah. Oh, I put my ticket today, so I'm going to go.
Big Joe's going, isn't he?
Yeah. £5, absolute bargain. So yeah, it's I mean, this competition is that kind of probably
it's now our only route to Wembley, apparently, because Man City,
yeah, Man City are gonna fucking.
What do you mean, apparently?
Because Salford are gonna knock us out.
But I think it's difficult at this stage because you don't know how seriously Luton are going to be taking it. I haven't seen Luton's presser. Yeah, I haven't seen their presser. Obviously, I don't mind this competition anyway. I love a game under lights. Shame it's a 7:00 kickoff because that's a bit of a pain. Because I always think quarter weight is a lot easier to negotiate after work. But yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see the lineup we put out because obviously the lads haven't played. What was it now? 11 days? 2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks? Yeah. New Year's Day, was it? So it'd be interesting because we've got to have Salford in mind on Saturday, but then obviously we've also got, I'll get this right round, is it Salford again the Tuesday?
Luton,
and then we've
Luton, Salford,
Bromley, Notts County.
Yeah, so we've got a horrible couple of weeks, haven't we? And then we've got Harrogate the week after that on a Tuesday as well. So we've got a horrible couple of weeks, really. And I know it's the same for a lot of clubs. Well, probably not actually, because we were the only fucking postponed FA Cup game on Saturday. But
I suppose we can't really, as much as we'd like to, we can't really criticise Salford because we then did go and cancel the women's game on Sunday when there'd been plenty of positive temperatures.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's. I think there's an underlying current to that one personally, but we'll keep that for another day. But I think it's. I'm intrigued to see what the lineup is. Obviously, Munroe won't be there now, and we got the new lads coming in. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they get blooded in a little bit. And the one I'm really intrigued about is Drinan, whether he will start. I mean, he's a bit of he'll play every game he's available for, but there's no doubt of how important he is for Saturday, but there's also no doubt of how important he's been for this competition. He
hasn't played, so if he is important for Saturday, it'd be good for him to get at least 45 minutes just to get his eye in again.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those games where we make three subs at half time and then we make another two on the 60th minute. To be fair, sorry, that was the baby runner. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Glad some of the Fools are going as well. So I always like a game under lights. I have been to Luton's ground before, and I'm looking forward to seeing Doris washing up again as I walk through the away stand. So, but yeah, I'll send on. Make sure she remembers who I am, and it'll be nice. It'll still be a good game. And because we've been starved of Swindon football for so long, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to see a couple of Swindon players running around again.
Absolutely, Nick. You said as well that you were going. What is it that's prompted the decision to head over to Luton for 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night?
Well, it's not so bad for me because I can leave virtually any time I want during the day, so I can take a nice leisurely drive there, and it's only an hour and a half from my place, so it's should be quite a simple run. It's a ground I haven't been to. It's another one to tick off, and it's probably I don't know when they're moving or getting their new ground. They're not going to be there forever and a day. And like Woody said, we haven't seen any football for God knows how long. And I think Swindon will put out quite a strong side because it's already been said. Players need to get minutes in their legs. I think Dryden will play. I think Palmer will probably be on the bench. He's probably, for me, less likely to start. And we,
start?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say we might even see the Tabor start a game, which would be good.
80th minute.
So no. Well, he's had longer than that, to be fair. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I think I think we've got every chance of getting the result because even with changes that he can make, it's still for us going to be a strong side. We're not putting a load of kids in. Whoever starts would have played a good number of minutes in the first team. So yeah. I'm confident we can get some out of it, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I think I don't think the weather's too bad. I think it's forecast rain from sort of most of the day, but hopefully by the evening it'll die out and it'll be a decent game.
Mark, let me start with you. Predictions for tomorrow?
I think we'll win on pens.
Nice. Nick?
I'm going to go 3-1.
Swindon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Nick. Woody?
Didn't we beat them 3-1 a few years back at their place? I think I was there. Chris Hussey. I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 Swindon. Being ambitious.
Unfortunately, we can't bring you updates from the women's fixtures at the weekend. As we knew, Bassett went in with no game. Swindon's got postponed, and unfortunately there was the abandonment at Caution, so there's nothing to talk about on that side of things either. So somehow, leading into the episode...
Apart from the draw for the Women's National League Cup has been made, the game that was supposed to be played yesterday, the winners will either play Wolves or West Bromwich Albion.
Oh, away.
Oh, actually, I don't know, actually. I think it might be away.
I was looking at Wolves away in the FA Cup as well. That would be nice.
Please hold. I'll have a look.
That's okay. While Woody fact checks that, that just gives me enough time
away.
to...
Away against the winner of Swindon Bournemouth has been drawn away against either Wolves or West Brom in the semi-final of the FA.
When's that like? What date's that likely to be played?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Viking! Fucking...
You're a local fucking expert!
Have a look yourself. Yeah, but it came up just before we came live. Fuck's sake. It's not. It doesn't say yet. Date to be confirmed.
To be confirmed. Okay. Well, we'll obviously update as that becomes apparent. That just leaves me enough time to thank our guests tonight. Again, we'll be sharing information across our socials. If Man v Fat Football Swindon is something you'd be interested in, then do keep an eye out. Get in touch with the guys and go and get involved. Thank you, gentlemen. Woody, Nick, as always, for your time. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Mark, absolute pleasure having you back.
Good to see you back.
Yeah. Hopefully this will be the first of many in 2026. And if you are going to the game tomorrow, travel safe, be loud, be proud. And given that we've got a shit draw in the FA Cup, apparently, let's make sure that the one cup that everyone now cares about, we put a real effort into. I've been Fifey. We've been Fools Rushing. Until Friday when we do it all again. Have a great week. Good night.
Yeah, we're back again, like mates down the pub. Heart on sleeve, never tame. Yeah, from the chanting in the stands to the tackles flying in. Home and away, red blood, white shirt, where the fools rush in. Passion, debate, slash, rants, angry inside. Fools rush in like a last-minute swing, just like back in Swindon time. We go up, we fall down. From the goals that lift the roof to the grows when it goes wide. We argue, we agree, but you're all here on the right. Fight by jumping in the chat. Every story, every stat. Thank you for watching, for listening, commenting back. Save our tires on the border. That's recruitment in our corner. This is our club, our crowd. Turn it up a little louder. Fools rush in like we're chasing one more win. We'll make you laugh, make you cry, feel happy, feel angry inside. Fools rush in like a last-minute swing, just like back in Swindon time. We go up, we fall down. Fools rush in.